Hello again, this is Hellcry, and we've reached the end of my series analyzing and understanding the story of YIIK, a postmodern RPG. It's been a long journey, and if this is your introduction, you should take a look at the playlist in the description. After many days of hanging out with friends, telling Christmas stories, doing side quests, and grinding levels, we've reached the final hours of the year 1999. Was it time well spent? Feels like we've been here before.
You still with me? Good. I don't know what to expect here. Everything is so different from the Frank that I know.
A video posted on August 19th, 2019, titled The Third Ending Revealed, Steph Plays YIIK, appeared. This oddly has the version number 1.02. On PC, YIIK launched with 1.03. On PS4, it launched with 1.01 with a sort of glitched overlay 1.03, and on Switch it was called 1.0. This appears to be an entire version of YIIK before the game was released. While this was initially suspected of being a developer upload, it is entirely possible that this was a beta tester who had access to certain things and were a bit too excited to show off a secret they discovered. I'm not going to go into a full breakdown of everything shown in this video because I'm here to talk about the game itself and the story most importantly. But I will state the save files show clear evidence of being tampered with. Some say that the ridiculous times on the saves are something only a developer would have, which is ignoring the oddly colored names and the impossible time of 0:35, 23:37. If you want to explore deeper on how to find this ending, I implore you to join the discussion on the YIIK. Is someone just messing with us? Well, thankfully not, because this ending has existed in the game's files as early as a beta branch from around this time. After crossing the Pink Sea, we travel into the tower, leading us into the tutorial dungeon? But unlike the Proto Ultima ending, here the puzzles are yet to be solved. And as we would start the fight with Proto Ultima Alex, we are instead transported to Old Frankton. And before I go into the story of what's happening here, I need to stop and tell you that Matt Hotkins is here, and he has unique dialogue, which essentially boils down to him trying to help Alex get the groceries for his mother. Sorry, I'm not going to waste our time by having the scene fully voiced, but I'll have the text on screen just to document this fun little moment. Anyway, we see two familiar faces lurking around.
Interesting, is it not? No one is here yet the reality has aged. Buildings have been constructed. I expected to see other humans interacting with the environment.
Well, maybe we're the first here?
Let's find what we came here for and get out quick. I'd hate to be here when life sparks into existence.
Quite strange, don't you think? Somehow, we're here even earlier, before the first loop of YIIK. Even earlier than the previous version that we talked about in the previous episode.
Oh, so you found it. That's the thing.
Yes, I believe it is. With this, we should be able to understand the plan here. Disruption shouldn't be difficult, should we find ourselves.
Oh, jeez, man. I really hope you know what you're doing. As funny as all this is, don't you worry. It's gonna blow up in our face. Just think it over. The division may exist for a reason.
This implies that the act of the debugger ending wasn't actually of Alex's own volition, but a plot by the Essentia and Wilfred to get Alex to collapse the division. Though I think this is just an implication. In a way, I think that this is misleading. Let's look at the scene from the debugger ending.
Yeah, look, I'll make this simple for you. I'm you, you're me, she's us as well. The division of our soul isn't exactly natural, and she wants out. She wants to be the last one here. She just can't accept our little arrangement. I get it, but we've been this way for a long time, man. So, tell me, what lies did she tell you to get you here? Essentia, is this true? Sammy? Fella? Was that all a lie?
It is often necessary to lie to yourself to get a tough job done. You've done it. We've all done it. I said what I needed to say to get you here. I'm sorry if I used the poor girl's disappearance as a catalyst. But would anything else really have motivated you?
I can't... How the fuck is this possible? How could you lie to me?
Alex, won't you help me destroy him? Come on, take him out. You've come so far. End this division. End this strife. Without him, there will be no conflict.
At some point between this ending and the other ending, Wilfred stopped working alongside the Essentia explicitly. It appears as though he had realized something and had become content in his position as king, while the Essentia is still looking for a way to leave, thus keeping them both trapped here, as well as Alex. Or alternatively, this ending exists as a way for Alex to insert his villains into the narrative, them both existing as a metaphor of his obsessions with himself and the idea of someone else that could love him unconditionally, that could fill in the gaps of who he is, but also has the mystique of being just out of reach.
This is kind of fucked, ain't it? You really think it's gonna be worth it? I mean, this guy, he's just a dude. Do you really think he's a danger to us?
We've checked over 100 instances, and the threat to our intent is real. You've seen them. Why worry about this one? He is no different from the other Defiants. Given the correct circumstances, it can easily be led from anything that might be confused with heroism.
Okay, just give me a pause. We're really mixing realities here, and we don't know what the result can be. Oh, but man, it sure is funny, I gotta say.
I am not seeking a humor here. I'm seeking freedom. You understand this. You've been shackled yourself.
Yeah, I guess I worry we ain't fully understanding what we're playing with.
I'm confident in our plan. Be at ease.
Hey, do you see those guys over there?
Yes. Pay them no mind. They can't see us.
Well, I think we should get going. I feel exposed here.
This further points to what was implied, as well as mixing realities. While most people think of this as different worlds, it would appear that this is really a collection of Alex's. They're mixing conspiracies, mixing his obsessions, mixing his friendships, to attempt to become almost, as the player is in the debugger ending, the only one left standing.
Oh, fuck! You said they couldn't see us.
Did you not close the portal behind you?
Oh, well, obviously I forgot to.
Sencha.
The boy knows me.
Yes, we've been here before.
Oh, have we? Oh. This just got interesting. Okay, tell us.
Just kill him, Wilfred. I see no reason why we should indulge him when we're clearly in danger.
You two destroyed my reality. You killed my friends. You killed my mother. You manipulated me for months for some twisted endgame.
Well, it seems our plan has come to fruition.
Alright, tell me, man. How did you come to be here?
I've traveled through time, through many realities. I know what you are and what you're capable of. And it's gonna have to stop now. You've taken advantage of too many people!
Alright, this space exists outside of time. When a soul is here, they do not exist elsewhere. They cease to exist. Pulled from whenever they are into the past, into this room. From your bed, from a stairwell, an elevator, it doesn't matter. Once you enter here, it's the only place you exist. So, if we kill them now, they won't bother us in the future.
We've no choice but to kill these children.
It's easy to notice how this is referring to the inciting incident, Sammy's disappearance, and let's reflect on what she said at the time.
Please, please don't touch me, not again, let me be. You promised you wouldn't move me again, please don't. Alex, don't let them take me, please.
And again, remember in the debugger ending.
I'm sorry if I used the poor girl's disappearance as a catalyst, but would anything else really have motivated you?
So what's going on here? The entire concept of this ending is to go back to a time before all of this, from both Alex's perspective as well as the Essentia, and Wilfred's. With the Essentia and Wilfred, obviously as I stated earlier, this ends up creating the entire narrative, the debugger ending, and setting up the concept of the king and queen. However, with Alex, you have to consider that he's coming here to create said meta-narrative of the king and queen themselves. He's not running into them in a chance encounter, but is rather blaming them, as he has so often done throughout the game, for his own issues, and is using them as a scapegoat to avoid the accountability therein. This is not the beginning of their plot, but rather their beginning entirely. And we know this because while this is the beginning of their plot, their ending is shown in the debugger ending. And as Wilfred has said,
When a soul is here, they do not exist elsewhere. They cease to exist. Pulled from whenever they are into the past, into this room. From your bed, from a stairwell, an elevator, it doesn't matter. Once you enter here, it's the only place you exist.
it's the same place as the ending of the game, deep in Alex's mind dungeon. So what do we do after going back in time to kill Comstock before he could become Comstock? Or kill Hitler when he was a baby?
I can't believe it! They took damage this time!
Holy shit! Okay, I know Essentia, but who the hell is that other guy? What is this place? Alex, you're gonna need to explain all of this.
Alex, how many times have you fought them? Why didn't you explain all of this along the way?
Guys, I need to tell you something. And I hope you don't hate me after I'm done. I am not entirely sure I get what's been going on, but I know this much. I've been a fool. I've been a follower. I've done only the things that I think will make me happy in the moment and thought only of myself. Because of this, I was easily manipulated by the Essentia and wherever the hell that guy is. I still don't entirely understand. Essentia has been traveling to realities, finding other instances of herself, and setting up elaborate plots to drive us from leading productive lives. This is all so she can be the only one, the last version of me. I followed because it made me feel important. Listening to her lies, letting her manipulate me, all of it was so stupid. If I had just stopped for a moment and looked past my self-obsession, I would have seen how none of it made sense. All the adventure was to bring us here. I was a horrible, shitty asshole for dragging you along. She saw my weakness and exploited it. Because she's the same way. But now she's gone.
Shit, man.
So, what would have happened if we drove to NYC instead of that tower?
It's too horrible to say, but when it was all over, it was just me. Me and the player. We fought Essentia and Proto-Me on a loop for days, dying and returning to the fight. And in the end, the only way for me to go on was to cease to exist. But the player saved us. They did something heroic. They searched hard and found a way to return us to before all this happened. Before Sammy went missing. Before our reality ever existed. Back in the beta era.
So, what do we do now?
I think that's up to us to decide. But now, we're actually given a chance to go on. Chances like this only happen in fantasy.
What was there besides this adventure? Besides finding Sammy Park and the robot girl, what was the point?
The point was, now we're free. Free from manipulation. We've been given a chance to actually try life again after losing everything.
Well, let's make it a good one. Seems like we're actually getting a happy ending to all of this.
Well, whatever we choose, let's try and make the best choices we can. What do you say, guys? Should we go back?
What if reality is still broken? What if we go back to 1999 and everything is still as ruined as before?
Well, didn't Proto-Me say we exist only in this space? If we enter here, are we outside of time? Perhaps if we return, things won't be so bad.
Blatantly returning to the beginning, just like the Ultima Alex ending, referencing Ocarina of Time.
We returned back, shortly before my adventure began, each returning with the knowledge of the events that preceded. Armed with this knowledge, we'd make our best choices. Claudio and Chandra returned to their reality and are reunited with their brother. I miss them every day, but I'm with them in a different way now, closer than ever. Vela stayed in my reality, and we met up when I returned home from school. I immediately went food shopping and cleaned the house up for Mom. Michael, Vala, and Rory helped. When my mom arrived, I thanked her for everything she did. She was so surprised by my uncharacteristic gratitude that she broke into tears. So did I. Before, I was a bad son, a bad friend. I can't take back the horrible things I've said or thought, but I can do my best to make up for them now. And I have you to thank for that. You were the true guiding light, not a woman made of plastic. Thank you for everything. I hope your reality is as good as mine.
Here, we see Alex reinforcing some of the narratives he created, such as him potentially being Claudio and Chandra's brother, despite all the evidence to the contrary, which is also only a surface-level understanding of their problems. If you think about it, Chandra and Claudio to an extent have both moved on past their brother's disappearance. Chandra completely dissociates from it because it was someone she didn't really know, but the importance of the tragedy is forced upon her. And Claudio has developed a sort of selfless hero complex. He's not mindlessly searching for his brother, but hoping that he can stop others from experiencing the loss that he felt. However, this ending focuses heavily on Alex's behavior to his mother. Where's an apology for dragging Vela through one of the most traumatic experiences of her life? The one that made her want to leave reality? Why is Rory's sister completely absent? Some say that this ending ties up loose ends, but really it's the most self-indulgent ending for Alex. Instead of following his obsession with the Essentia and his meaning in the world and ultimately leaving it up to you, instead of following his obsession with Sammy and his desire for love and acceptance and ultimately assuming that you feel the same, and instead of following the fleeting infatuation with the girl that'll totally save me, Vela, and his crippling abandonment issues, ultimately assuming that you too have a hero complex, in this ending, it's all about a false sense of accomplishment. The way that someone tells you that they become a better person by doing a few good things, but inevitably making the same core mistake. Instead of moving forward and treating people better from now on, Alex explicitly insists on returning to the beginning to undo the mistakes. That is not an apology for what he's done. Actually, in this specific case, it's him saying he wouldn't have done it if it weren't for the two evil bad guys manipulating him that he made up. This theme of the narrative repeating is explored in every ending, but these previous two the most, and, well, blatantly stated by the title, Y2K, the Millennium Bug. This is also what makes the Essentia different from Alex. Alex is obsessed with returning to the past and doing things right, as illustrated by the endings. However, the Essentia is trying to leave the cycle, specifically to keep Alex trapped, as that is the purpose he made her for. To entertain her, to love him, but also to be eternally fleeting. This leaves Alex living forever, stuck in his digital soul vessel, a soul trapped in technology, just on the edge of realizing his mistakes, just on the edge of becoming a better person, just on the edge of changing his life for more than just a few days, but never quite there. And so, yet again, we are returning to the beginning.
you.